with this crisis?
I believe that at first it was the communists, but it would never be able to inflate at that proportion without the help, without the aid of the Americans, of the media, Western media. So after it has become absolutely an American affair, and after the murder of the Modins, when it went off hands, they had to bomb it.
From about August in 1963, there were already rumors of coups and counter-coups. Madame, could you explain why you felt that the situation was secure enough at that time to leave the country?
In 1963, I had to leave the country. It was, for me, I could, because as I already told you, I have always organized everything in order for people to do without me. So for my own occupations, for my women's movement, I could leave. It was all organized in that way. And I have a mission, which was to prevent them. If I could not prevent them to commit the crime, at least my mission was to do in such a way that that crime could not be perfect. So I had to go to tell first, to say, things are like this. So if it happens after, you will know that it is all premeditated.
In your opinion, who was responsible for the 1963 coup?
In fact, I believe that the US government at that time, if it has not committed so many blunders, so many errors, Bay of Pigs, Berlin Wall, Cuban missiles, it would never do it, that coup. But after 3 mistakes, like the ones I have just cited, it had to do something in Vietnam to, to own Vietnam. And for them, all the factors of success were there. They considered that they could not leave it to us, but what they have done was exactly to rob the poor. That's why there is that doom on them now.
Who was responsible for the deaths of your husband and your brother-in-law?
You have made so many investigations, books and books, and that means the US has done that, and they cannot find. That means, according to me, that they just do those investigations really to lure people, because if really they want to know who is responsible, they would find it. I don't want to accuse anyone.
Sorry. Take 10, roll 5.
I do not want to accuse anyone. I do not want to go into the details, but the evidence is there. The responsible was the Kennedy government, and it is sure that the murder of chief of state and of his brother, that really the beheading of Vietnam could not be done without the president himself giving the green light. This is Apparently, things are like that. Apparently, responsibility is absolutely on President Kennedy. But the fact, I don't know. The truth, I don't know. I would like to know.
Tốt. Take 11.
Madam Moon, in 1963, there were some rumors that your husband was insane, that he was power mad, and that he was a heroin addict. Now, can you comment on that?
Yes, they have said a lot of things against my husband. They even said that he was a dog fine and all those things. And you see, whoever can say anything against me, I don't care. But I know my husband, and hearing all those things against him, I cannot bear it. I cannot bear because I know him. He has such a great sense of responsibility, and he saw so well that he was not understood, that his self-confidence, which was based on the faith in God and in himself, was considered as madness because he was confronted to the United States. But for such a faith, what does it mean? A human power. But nobody understood, so they said a lot of things, but for years and years, the death of my husband, I could accept it. But the debasing of his personality, that I cannot bear it. But now, the revenge is coming. The revenge is coming that all those who have attacked him, who have said all those things, when the truth will be known about what he has found and what is really his madness, all those people will be ashamed. Will be ashamed. They would like to swallow all they have said, because it will show how fools they were not to have understood that man. That hour is coming.
There are also rumors that because your husband felt so betrayed by the Americans, that he made overtures towards the North Vietnamese communists. Can you also comment on this?
Overtures to the communists. In fact, as I have explained, we won the war. If we had not won the war, never the US government would jump in Vietnam. We won the war. The communists dare not to escalate. They had only one alternative. They had only one alternative. Either to escalate, they dare not, or to negotiate. So it is they who sent the people to us, because my husband has found a solution against subversive war. That solution permits his people to live with the war, against the war, and in spite of the war. And because of that, the communists could not do anything. So, rather than, instead of escalating the war, they sent the people to talk with my husband. And this was turned over against my husband, as if he made the first steps. Not at all. This is a lie. Not at all. It was they who made the first steps.
What did he say to them?
He, at that time, we just started to talk with them, to know what do you propose. And they arrived, and in order not to lose face, because we did everything at that time to make things easy for them. So they arrived, and they just asked, what are your conditions for your open arms program. That means it was translated in open arms program, but in fact, Tiohoi means the return of the prodigal brother. So we said to them, we shall kill the, how do you say, le veau gras, that means for the prodigal son, they killed the veal, how do you call that, the fat veal. But we told them, we shall kill the fat veal. And I think that the US got that answer from us, and they believed that they would be the fat veal. Maybe. Otherwise, I would not explain why they did what they did. Why they did what they did.
What do you think went wrong? Why did such an unhappy ending happen in 1963?
All that is, how do you say, arrogance, comes from arrogance. The US was convinced it possessed the truth and was full of contempt for. There were it was too materialistic to understand, and that I cannot even accuse them or be too bitter against them, because I must say that even our own people did not understand anything. A lot of our people did not understand anything. Or the materialistic, they considered that my husband was absolutely insane to despise all that material strength and to cling to his solution. But it was just a misunderstanding out of arrogance on one side and a kind of lack of of intelligence on the other side. Because for the Americans, I believe that it was arrogance, but for our own people, I believe that it was just a lack of intelligence, immaturity.
You had something that you wanted to add about this.
Yes, my last, the message, really, I want to forward to the American people is just this. Don't ask your people to make flying trapeze performances without giving them a net. That is to say, don't try to regain prestige lost since Vietnam with the build-up of a frightening force of dissuasion, while ignoring God's laws and His Christ teaching. So the US must really accept the truth about Vietnam first and make amends.